Top of the afternoon, top of the afternoon, top of the Sunday afternoon. Happy Easter, everybody. Thank you, Easter Bunny. It is Easter today, Bob. How we doing down there on Easter in Colorado today?
I'm loving it, man. Let me tell you, man, driving around Lakewood, Colorado on Easter on Sunday is like driving back to 2008 Lakewood when there was nobody out here. It's the greatest thing in the world. Everybody's at their house, probably at church, probably eating somewhere. It's the greatest, man. I love it.
Yeah, definitely got to give thanks today as we got our third edition here. KELZ with the Intels tapping in from the DC Nation fan club. Happy Easter, KELZ. How we doing today?
Hey, happy Resurrection Sunday.
That it is.
Yeah.
But welcome, everybody. We're streaming live on 3 platforms. On Easter, we're live on Built Different Group. Special shout out to all of our Built Different Group supporters, all of our green badges. Thank you for your support. This podcast is brought to you. And our Patreon subscribers on Patreon in the Position Predictions Challenge. As we're on episode 8 here today, running backs. Will the Cowboys draft a running back? Special shout out to all of the professionals on LinkedIn. See y'all out there at Military Creator Con here in a couple of weeks. And special thank you to everybody tapping in on YouTube. You know, I've got the Big 3 cast here today because I got a big question. I've been asking this because I got another scenario up, and I'm just going to share it with everybody here. There is a mock draft happening where Jeremiah Love is available for the Dallas Cowboys. And so one would have to ask, if Jeremiah Love, as we highlight running backs here today, KELZ, would the Cowboys be inclined to draft Jeremiah Love at position 12, knowing we need 50-11 defenders?
I'm going to pass that one on to Bob.
She said she don't want that hot potato right out the gate, Bob.
Listen, I don't. If it happens, you're gonna have an entire fan base screaming at the top of their lungs, just because this person does not play on defense. So no, I don't think realistically in any way. Well, I don't know about realistically. We do have a habit of grabbing offensive linemen when we don't necessarily need their ass. But I don't know. I don't see realistically a running back happening. If it does, maybe with that number, maybe with that 3rd round pick and later on, there's just too many glaring needs right now on defense, I think. And not to mention, we can't forget that we got JetBlue back there. We got a couple kids that still have to prove themselves. So I don't know that scooting them out and drafting somebody is going to be better for their NFL career. It may hurt them. So,
well, before we get into the thick of things with running backs, Jerry Jones had a microphone sighting. Of course, he had something to say about George Pickens playing on the franchise tag. Y'all listen in. I want to get Bob and KELZ's reaction on what Jerry had to say about the latest on GP's contract talks. Listen in. This was just a couple of days ago.
Jerry, Stephen said after you traded Micah at that press conference that if a player wants you to negotiate with the agent, and he tells you that you're comfortable doing that, versus if they want to have the conversations directly with you. Have you gotten any of that guidance yet from George?
Well, guidance isn't the word for it, but the facts are that I've talked to hundreds of agents in my time over the last 35 years and have talked to some recently. There's no issue with me with talking to agents. I need to do a better job of not getting, well, Daddy said I could have it, and him going to Mama and Mama saying, Daddy said I could have it. We've got to get on the same page, and I have something to do with that as well. But I've just got to, when we're dealing with agents, when I also do visit with players, always have, sometimes make the deal with the player. Always have. It always works out. If he worked without an agent, he'd save a lot of money.
And I just want to grab that right quick as we get settled in. He says basically without an agent, he'd make some more money. Bob, what's your thoughts on that, on his advice to GP in these contract talks?
Hey, man, I spent a little time out in the sun yesterday, so I'm getting even pinker hearing what that guy just said. First of all, I need to know who the mom is in this scenario. I heard the whole tell daddy situation. I don't know I don't understand who the mom would be in that scenario. But regardless, yes, that man would definitely want every single NFL agent kicked to the curb if he could do a handshake deal with every NFL player. Look, every owner would, if I'm being honest. I mean, let's be honest. We're talking about having somebody else involved in that might not know a lot about football as opposed to talking to a player. But there's also that business part that players don't want to mess with. That's the reason why you have agents. So That's definitely a Jerry thing to say for sure.
Well, the tag deadline is July 15th, KELZ, and the noise is getting louder that GP won't report to OTAs or voluntary workouts or maybe even camp, if not on a long-term deal. What's your thoughts on what Jerry had to say about GP and no agent?
I mean, honestly, okay. The way that he describes things, it just makes me scratch my head sometimes, because I'd be like, what are you talking about? But anyway, besides that, as far as players having agents, it necessarily doesn't mean about saving money. I know there are a lot of athletes that do not have agents because a lot of agents are not trustworthy. We know, and it's been a fact, that a lot of athletes go up S Waters Creeks because the people that they hire to manage contracts, personal finances, business finances, those agents have funneled money to them, and then the player doesn't have anything. So we have that scenario. Then we have then we had the fact that something, and I'm putting it out there, David Mulligata, sometimes he does not work in the interest of what the players say that he wants, because he always look for what he wants. So
well, that's the money, because like he's the most paid. So obviously it would be the money in that case. I'm just scared. It looks like Micah Parsons 2.0.
No, it's just like if let's say if my boo thing Idris Elba, and I know he would not do that to me. Idris Elba is my agent. And I say, okay, Idris, I'm gonna sign this contract. I know this is what it is, but this works good for me. This is what works good for me. I'm okay with 10 million. Go to the front office and say I'm down. Idris, little behind, can go to that front office and say, nope, she don't want that 10 million. She wants 30 million. But the
players do hire the agents to work in their best interests, and
but sometimes they don't. So let's be real on that.
Well, let's be real on this. If Jeremiah Love failed to pick 12 KELZ, I mean, we got through the latest here with the George Pickens stuff, as Jeremiah Love, the most sought after running back. I've got a mock draft already up in the background where he's fell to the Cowboys. What would the Cowboys be looking at? Is he on the Cowboys' radar? Can you tell me what you know about running back Jeremiah Love as we kick off the running back episode 8 here?
Well, we could kill the noise right now because I have the updated list of the 30 visits that the Cowboys will be having.
Okay.
Ready?
Bring it.
All right. Because I told folks that everybody that the Cowboys interviewed at the Senior Bowl, the Shrine Bowl, and the Combine were all defensive players. I don't know why people keep saying, oh, it's going to be offensive line. They did not talk to no offensive lines for these first 2 picks. So let's go down the list. These are the ones that will be at the Dallas Cowboys 30 visits. Arvell Reese, Sonny Styles, Caleb Downs, Mansour Delane. There is a wide receiver, Omar Cooper Jr., safety, Emmanuel McNeil Warren, cornerback, Keontae Scott, linebacker, Josiah Trotter, safety, Kamari Ramsey, edge, Romello Height, Malik Muhammad, cornerback from Texas, cornerback from...
So how many total names is that you got on that list, KELZ?
Hold on, I have to run through it.
Is Jeremiah Love on there? That's what I want to know.
I'm getting ready to run the list because it's long. Stephen F. I want to say Stephen F. Austin, but Charles Demings,
But we can post those. We can post those. Let's just focus on the running back section. Let's talk about the running backs.
None.
So, well, we're talking about running backs today, so we got to talk about Jeremiah Love because you know they're going to talk about it if he falls at 12 and we pass on him. It's like Derrick Henry 2.0, the Cowboys, they do the draft.
Let's not forget, we still don't even know if we're sitting at 12. I know that it's probably improbable, right? But there's still a chance, maybe, if something weird happens and pick 1, 2, 3. Jerry starts feeling some kind of way about needing a linebacker. Maybe we move up for Styles. Maybe we move up for some players. We still don't even know if we're going to sit at 12. That's really kind of why Jerry and company have us on the hook right now, because this is the kind of stuff that we wanted. We understand that we want wins, but we also, we love the drama in Dallas too, the fun drama anyway. And the fact that we've got some good draft capital to kind of play with if we want to move around is pretty amazing. Will it happen? I don't know. But running back at this point.
I think KELZ, Bob, you covered this in an earlier show that we don't have the draft capital to trade up, right, KELZ? Because there's a lot of noise about we're trading up to get David Bailey.
We'd have to give a lot, I think. That's the problem.
So here's the thing. Let's go to class. Currently, the Cowboys have 2,178.4 draft points. That includes all. Oh, they just updated their draft order.
Do me a favor, y'all share this video to your favorite blogger or vlogger on social media so they know we won't trade up based on what KELZ get ready to share. I'm sorry, KELZ.
So with all 8 picks, the Cowboys have 2,178.4. The third pick in the first round is worth. Let me pull up the thing.
50-11.
This is some stuff that people don't know about either. I don't think a lot of people know that this is a point system allotted to these picks.
I just learned this year. If you raise your hand, if you're learning today.
That's kind of how you know somebody reached or didn't reach.
Pick 3 in the first round is worth 2,200 points. The 12th pick is worth 1,200 points.
So 1,000 points off.
The 20th pick, which is our trade equity, is worth 850 points. I'm not going through all the rounds.
So basically, we don't have enough points to trade up with somebody up.
If we were to do that, that means we have to give away our first 2 picks, our 12th
and our 20th.
The 12th, the 20th, the 3rd round pick, and possibly the 4th round. So you won't see us until day 3. Y'all really want to do that?
Yeah, the hell with that. And that's not something I don't think Jerry even wants to play with.
Based on the needs that we have?
Thanks for clarifying that again. So y'all run and tell that. Run and tell that. Share this with your favorite blogger because folks out here spreading the nonsense. Who the Cowboys is thinking about trading up because some reporter thought it up while they was laying in the bed saying, how can I talk about the Cowboys when I go to work today?
Well, we can't also discount the fact that people like Shoddy and Jerry plant that kind of stuff in our head too, especially with phrases like we've got we've got some games we can play. We're always open for business, like that. They're letting us think that they're going to be able to make that wiggle room kind of stuff. But you're right. Like it just doesn't make a lot of sense. And we'd probably have to give away draft capital for next year too, if we really wanted to.
So here's the thing. Like I said, this is smoke and mirrors. Okay. Mike Leslie, who is a credible source.
Yeah. WFAA.
Yeah. He reported that draft analyst Todd Lachey was the one that said that
was pushing it out.
The Cowboys front office is looking into that.
Also, let's also remember.
Well, where is Lachey at though? Where is he based out of? I mean, can't Mike Leslie just walk from the offices down there in Arlington over there to the Star and be like, "Hey, is this shit true or not?"
I mean, don't forget these guys can say all this stuff, and we never check them for it. Next year, we'll never say, "Hey, what that guy said," 17 weeks before the start of the regular season was incorrect. That's the reason why they can take swings like this because they win in the now. They get the clicks and the likes right now, and if they turn out to be wrong, who cares? It does not matter. There's no repercussion.
Right. So here's the thing. Technically, he can't unless it's already a scheduled like a scheduled radio show, like with 105.3 The Fan. Because a lot of things, like nobody is really entered into the building until I want to say the date is April 30th, if I'm not mistaken. That's when all everything open for players, front office, so they can have tangible access to them. You really can't do nothing now until, let's say, somebody decide to retire. They're going to do a press conference, and then that's when the media is allowed, like if it's a change like that. But right now, no media is permitted into the Star for like interviews or anything.
Well, I understand that. I'm just saying,
Yeah.
I mean, the location, the proximity. I mean, everybody seems to say, well, this person said, and that's why I don't share a lot of that stuff here. We don't share a lot of that. Oh, we're thinking about going and getting Bobby Wagner because of, Shotty used to coach him in Seattle, and it just seems like it makes sense when really we might be going a whole nother direction, or when things come up like this. But we don't share a lot of that because, like we said, my girl KELZ with the Intels here breaking it down. The trade up scenarios, we just throw that out. We ain't even got enough money or enough capital in the draft points per se. If you're just learning about that here today. But let's get off into these running back scales. Talk to us about Jeremiah Love, because I know whether we do or don't draft, they're going to talk about the Cowboys if he falls at 12.
Can I do something? Can I point something out real quick too before we start moving on here? We talked about Pickens earlier too. Pickens has been weighing on my mind very heavily. As soon as JSN got his contract, I don't know why, but I immediately said to myself, it's cool. Pickens isn't in that category of wide receiver just yet. He's not quite doing that kind of stuff.
But it doesn't make sense because the market. It's all about the market, right?
Right. But
that gives the Cowboys the negotiating point. I understand what you're saying.
I sat here and said, all right, well, what are the so JSN had 119 receptions for 1,793 yards and 10 touchdowns. Pickens had 93 for 1,429 and 9. They both averaged 15 yards a catch. It's ridiculous. I did not even think that they really. I mean, I understand that's just a math equation, but Pickens is in that area right now.
KELZ talked about it here last week, Bob. It depends on how George Pickens gets classified or characterized by the Cowboys. Yeah. Wide receiver 1A or however 1BA or whatever she's alluding to.
Characterized.
Because folks like Thomas is tapping in. We appreciate you, Thomas, tapping in. But we, this is what we covered. Like, we're not trading Pickens for no extra picks or no money like that. I don't know, KELZ.
But I'm gonna throw this. Here's the thing.
Well, that's if we can't match the money somebody else offers him. That's all.
But here's the thing, though. So, and that's the reason I wish it was the exclusive tag and not the non-exclusive tag that was placed on him. Because they still have control over that contract, but it's the negotiation part whether they can match it or not. But the thing is, I think this is where David Mulligetta is going to come down off of his high horse and realize a lot of teams may not be interested in going high on a contract on him like that.
Well, it's going to get interesting because
that's not saying he's a bad player, because one thing I do know, he has not been a problem in the building. So it has nothing to do with character issues or anything. I mean, yeah, he was late a couple of times and, they handled it. And we saw one of the disciplinary acts on, TV on a Monday night football game. But I think the leverage, basically, I think Mulligetta is trying to say, "Oh, I have the leverage," but he really does not.
Well, we're gonna see. We're gonna see about July 15th. Now we done been 20 minutes off on this high horse talking about this and that. Let's get into these running backs because I still want to know from the audience if Jeremiah Love falls to 12, are we grabbing him in your draft or not? Let us know in the comments below, because I know if Jeremiah Love falls to 12 like he did in this mock draft I got going on, it's gonna be big trouble in Little Frisco. So KELZ, tell us maybe what we don't know about Jeremiah Love that he probably won't go to the Cowboys because he won't make it to 12.
Okay, I think a lot of people know everything about him. He is going to be a first round draft pick. He'll definitely go in, if not the top 5, then the top 10. I'm just going to put it out there. So for his 2025 season, he has rushed 199 carries for 1,372 yards, 6.9 yards per carry.
Damn, that's a lot.
And a total of 18 touchdowns. So that was rushing, receiving. 27 receptions for 280 yards, and 3 touchdowns. He led Notre Dame in rushing yards and touchdowns with a season high of score of what we just said, 228 yards against USC. So here's some of his playing style. When you look at his speed and explosiveness, he's known for home run speeds and a 94-yard touchdown run in his career. So when you look at his agility, he has this thing, and I think we went past it. He features this thing that he has created called the dead leg jump cut that freezes defenders and elite change of direction ability. When you look at his versatility, he's considered a 3-down threat with reliable pass catching skills, and strong pass protection. He is a pass protector. He just think of Zeke. That's all I can say. Zeke, 26.
Yeah, he looks like a little slimmer Zeke.
Yeah. So he does. He'll basically bulldoze a defender and won't even think about it. You know.
Okay, so he's looking for the yards after contact. He's an all-tight runner.
Yeah, so he'll do whatever he'll have to do. Then he'll consider to ask questions later. So that's the type of player he is. Let me see. He is a former high school track star, so he does have track and field capabilities. And he is his high school state champion in the 100-meter dash. So he is a fast boy.
Yeah, I think he was the fastest at the combine too, if I'm not mistaken.
He was one of them. I'm getting
or
ready
the top
to
three. I think one of the top 3, if I'm not mistaken. But yeah, fans gonna fall in love with some love. As Sterling's tapping in, he said, "I'd have to take the best player available." Well, if Jeremiah Love is there, and let's see, Mansour Delane is still there, and Jamal McCoy is still there, Dylan Thieneman is still there.
I don't know, man.
Keep that up.
It's tough for me to even talk about.
So I won't forget.
Drafting running backs for this
keep
team,
that
man.
Up so I won't forget.
Like between Emmitt Smith and Zeke, there's a lot of running backs that we drafted that just didn't work out very well. It's one of those positions that we don't seem to do very well with when we're picking up. I mean, I feel like we've done a little bit better and maybe some undrafted and some free agency moves, but drafting running backs wasn't always our specialty. It seems like we definitely go a little harder for linemen, but that might have just because we needed it. We needed them out of necessity, but running back seems to be an odd position for us in the draft.
Well, this is the new look on the mock draft simulator.
Can I say 2 words to that, Bob?
Yeah.
No, just one.
Coaching
just one, KELZ. Go ahead.
Yeah. It's been a carousel too, for sure. I mean, besides 10 years of Garrett, but we don't need to talk about that.
Take a look at this. Cowboys on the clock. Jeremiah Love available. Mansour Delane available. Jamal McCoy. Dylan Thieneman. Let's take a look at the rest of the defense. Mansour, Dylan, Keldrick Falk, Peter Woods. I mean, this is going to get interesting. People just say, well, it can't happen. I understand, KELZ. I think he'll be gone too. But these mock drafts have to bring up, what we hear the front office say, we don't have to reach this year. We can go BPA, or we don't have to feel for need because of the things that KELZ had talked about leading up for the BPA, which is free agency. So things are going to get interesting. I
might throw something in a wrench real quick. Yeah. Okay. So give me a minute. So with Jeremiah at his combine, he scored. You remember when I was talking about the color coded system? He was in that bluish purple the whole time. So production score, he came in number 1 first. With the production score of 96. Athleticism, he ranked 3rd with a score of 90. His total score, he ranked 1st with a score of 96. The only thing he did was his 40-yard dash and his 10-yard dash, and he saved everything else for his pro day. So his 10-yard, he ran a 1.55. His 40-yard dash a 4.36. It was a lot of 4.36s that was being thrown at the combine. If anybody caught that. His NFL comparison is actually Jamar Gibbs, who is now with he's still with Detroit.
Yeah, David Montgomery signed
that
somebody.
Was David that left.
Yeah, but this makes it even worse though, KELZ, with all those measurables like you're talking about with Love. I mean, the media folks gonna clown us if we don't. And I understand we signed. I'm with y'all. I'm not trying to divide a wedge or cause anything. I'm just asking everybody to take a look at this, because if Love falls at 12 in this draft and the Cowboys are there and we haven't done anything,
and I'm gonna tell you right now, and I'm gonna tell and bring back to what Bob said earlier at the beginning of the show. You're going to have fans that's going to scream. The scream could either be, "Oh yeah, we got him," or it's going to be, "What the F are you doing? You know we need the." So it's going to go like that. But you remember when we did the first show, when before we started breaking down the positions and all that stuff, and we just did a whole synopsis? Don't be surprised if the Cowboys, and I'm gonna tell you right now, because it's not going to be BPA all the time. It is going to be BPN. Everybody know what if you don't know what BPN is, that's best player needed.
I like it. Well, I remember when we drafted Zeke in the first round at number 4, and I was like, what? We should have got Jalen Ramsey right about that time, Bob. So I'm just saying.
Yeah. I'm not the guy to talk to about when it comes to drafting anybody, if I'm being honest. But the running back is even foggier for me.
So the 2016, that was basically BPN, because we both needed corner, and we both, we needed both corner and running back. So it was like, which.
But I mean, because think about it, Javonte and Jeremiah. Ooh, that's nasty work. I mean, we just paid in. We got a dude on a rookie deal. I don't know. One could dream. But there's another guy that I found very interesting that you brought to my attention last week, KELZ, who's actually at the Naval Academy. And I was looking at his highlights as we came in. Is dude a running back or a receiver? As we get to Eli Heidenreich. Is that how you say his name?
That's pretty much how you say that, man. Good stuff, dude.
Yeah, because I knew you were big on him, talking about him. I went and did some research, and so I got some highlights here. Talk to us about Hayden or Eli Heidenreich out of the Naval Academy. Because he looks like a receiver.
So this boy, he plays slot. He plays fullback. He plays scat back. He can also do a wide out. He probably could do everything. He was at the Shrine Bowl. And one thing I can say, it was a pleasure, because I guess this is kind of, stingy or whatever, but it was a pleasure being in this area. In Annapolis is literally like 35 minutes from where I live. And I've had the pleasure of watching this man on my TV. Because it's crazy to get to the Naval Academy now, but we're not going to go through that right now.
Yeah. No, because I was like, my thing is like, could the Cowboys draft him? But I mean, we'll get through the player stuff first. But yeah, I like the kid, but he looks like a receiver. Is he a receiver or a running back? Because I know we're talking about running backs today. They keep throwing him the ball.
He's a running back, but he also receives. That's what I'm saying. He does everything.
Yeah, so like all his touchdowns are like 6 all the way.
So he is so at Navy they have used him as a receiver and a running back, sometimes dual roles, and they have put him in a fullback position. And he is a Navy midshipman. He's known for his versatile record-setting offensive weapon in their hybrid wing tee system. He is 6 feet. He has weighed in between 198 to 205 pounds. At the combine, he weighed in at He weighed in at 198, so he lost maybe a few pounds, but that's okay. He's still a good weight for his size. For his 2025 season, he is a senior. He's a second team All AAC. Recorded 941 receiving yards and 6 touchdowns. When you look at receptions, 109 for 1,994. Oh God, I gotta put my glasses on. And 16 touchdowns, which is the Navy Academy's football team record. Plus, with that, 7 rushing touchdowns. He could be used as a receiver, a running back, a blocker, a fullback. This is a dual threat weapon. The Cowboys definitely can get him because he is a day 3 prospect.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. He doesn't look like, I haven't heard of him, so he got to be available in later rounds.
Yeah, so he was at the Shrine Bowl, and when we talked about the Shrine Bowl early, mostly the Shrine Bowl are the prospects that you will see like later day 2 and definitely all throughout day 3 prospects. His performance at the combine, he ran a 4.44 in the 40-yard dash, the 10-yard split, a 1.55 vertical jump, 35.5 inches. Broad jump, he was one of the highest with 10 feet. Bench press, he did 16 reps. I'm jumping around. One of the things that the NFL scouts, not the Cowboy scout, but the NFL scout said that he possesses reliable hands, dangerous acceleration, and excellent ability to gain yards after contract. He has excellent eye correlation when it comes from the quarterback handing the ball to him, whether it's in rushing or receiving. He does not drop the ball a lot.
Hallelujah.
Yeah, so one of the things that a lot of people are worried about, if he is drafted by whatever team, with whatever all this craziness that, that's going on that we really didn't ask for, he may be shipped out.
Well, yeah, I mean, he is a naval midshipman, so he did sign the contract knowing this is your job. But yeah, this brings up, with all things considered going on, and I want to get Bob's take on this, world events that are going on. I mean, it'd be interesting to see how it plays out, because I think we just revisited this not too long ago, I think with a Raven player, if I'm not mistaken, out of the quarterback for the Navy back then. And, there was some controversy there. Can he go? Can he go? His job is to, serve in a naval capacity, but might be interesting. But what do you think about that hybrid type of player? I mean, it sounds like another, maybe a little heavier Kavonte Turpin.
I mean, look, at this point, I think every NFL team has to have sort of like your horse, your bull running back, and then somebody who's moderately unpredictable, and that's a bit of a scat. At this point, like I tried to put in-depth stuff up there, and it didn't go correctly when I posted it. But I just wanted to let everybody know what the current running back room is right now, which is Williams, Blue, Sanders, Davis, and Maffa, which I think is current to this point. Maffa, we didn't get to see really a lot. Blue, we got to see a little bit at the end. We still don't know if any of those guys are going to be that switch, that complement to Javonte Williams, because as far as I'm concerned, Williams is sort of like that Zeke guy, minus a little bit of that speed, but he's able to finesse and he's able to be a bull if he wants to. I'm really happy with what Javonte did for us. So that secondary running back spot is really a big deal. I'm not 100% concerned whether we draft somebody, simply because of how many running backs we already have. I don't know that we need to worry about drafting somebody. I mean, but like you're saying, when you've got somebody that's that kind of talent is going to possibly drop down to 12, do we jump at it? I don't know. Maybe Dallas does, but knowing how bad our defense is, you've got to think that Jerry's like, you know what, we're just going to move that, let it go. Let's pick up somebody that we really need. Maybe Ruben Bain, maybe Sonny Styles.
Yeah. And one thing about Eli, he cuts off sharply downhill from jet sweeps. He also lead blocks effectively, and he also come off his blocks very well. And he breaks off routes with adequate sharpness. So he is good. To Sterling's question, if if he has to go, there is something in place with the NFL. I forgot the exact name. It's not like he will be put on like the practice squad. Let's say if the Cowboys draft him or whatnot. It's not. It's a different kind of roster that they go on if they're military.
Oh, damn.
Well, it says yes, Navy. This is AI now, so on Yahoo. So don't shoot the messenger here. But yes, Navy midshipman can be drafted by the NFL. Recently, Navy midshipman Rayon Lane, the third, was drafted by the Jacksonville Jaguars in the 6th round of the 2025 NFL draft. So there we go. So yeah, it can happen. So yes, it can happen. But with all things going on considered now, yeah, some folks might want to insert themselves into the conversation, and because that's what they like to do. But it's still going to get interesting. But that's a great player, and I think he'd be a great addition. But like you said, KELZ, in later rounds. But it's good to know about Eli, because I didn't know the Navy had such talent over there like that this year.
Oh yeah, the thing is, Navy had good talent last year.
That's good. That's good. Well, who you got next up on the talent list of running backs? The Cowboys got their eye on. We already talked about Jeremiah Love. We talked about Eli Heidenreich. Who you got next, KELZ?
Let's talk about Love's partner in crime, Jadarian Price.
Roger that. Does he play for? Oh, he plays for Notre Dame too.
Yeah, Notre Dame.
Dang, Notre Dame had a 1-2 punch like that, man. Any Notre Dame fans in the comments?
5'11", 209. I like that. I could use a little bigger, but that's good.
This is the Fighting Irish's Sonic and Knuckles.
Wow.
He is a highly regarded running back prospect. He's definitely going to be a day 2 draft pick. So like round 2 or 3. Despite him operating as a backup to Love, he averaged 6 yards per carry with 11 touchdowns this past season. He's compared to Aaron Jones.
Ooh.
He's going to be like a steal of the draft. So when you look at his athleticism and contact balance, he's known for maintaining balance throughout contact and producing significant yardage after the first hit. He is a very efficient runner. He has very strong eye vision and patience between the tackles. He has high efficiency with 674 yards and 11 touchdowns on just 113 carries in 2025. He shows promises as a receiver, so he is a hybrid as a receiver as well as a kick returner, which add a lot of value to special teams with whoever he goes with. Pass protection, he just needs to improve a little bit in pass blocking. Honestly, I would not have him as a pass blocker. I would just give him the ball and let him run.
That's what he's doing. I mean, he looks like he's just running. I mean, Notre Dame getting ready to lose 2 running backs out of the backfield. That's wild.
Yup. So he is from Denison, Texas. I think that is a DFW Metroplex city. He weighs 203 pounds. He is 5 feet 11 inches. His hand size is 9 5/8. His wingspan is 30 7/8 inches. He did very good at combine. He will be a starter, even though he will go in day 2, round 2 or 3, depending on the need of that team. So he scored green and everything. He ranked 5th in production with a score of 73. He ranked 11th in athleticism with a score of 71. His total score is 75, and he ranked 4th.
Which day do you see him going on though? Like which round? Because I mean, you say he's just day 2. Okay.
Yeah, day 2 is round 2 and 3.
I don't know though. And I gotta ask the question to the audience too. Are the Cowboys? I mean, you just put up the running back room there, and I know even if Love fell to 12, I'm okay with the Cowboys passing because we just paid Javonte Williams, and I know it's a running back and it's probably BPA, but shit, we need defense. But you know how that goes.
Hold on, let me. I was trying to find where. Okay, so here's one interesting thing about Blue. Blue went in the 5th round, right? I know Marfa came in 6.
I think it was
how
5th,
many how many running backs do you think we get with 8 picks? I don't think we draft any running backs. Let us know in the comments.
I know last year we had multiples in 5 and 6.
Because we took Blue and Maffa last year in last year's draft, right?
Yeah.
With Zeus Vaughn on the
I just want
roster.
to make sure I get it right because I know we had multiples. We had multiples in round 5 and 6. So here's the thing about Blue. And sometimes it's with the later rounds, and it's nothing against him or anybody that's drafted that late. You can either be traded or you could be cut because your contract really ain't that much. So I'm not saying to cut Blue, but if they do cut it back at pick 91 and get Jadarian, and like I said, he's a hybrid. He could be an extra kickoff returner to relieve Kevontae Turpin. And
Thank you, Starlin.
And he could still help out with Javonte, or you could have Marfa, because Shotty said
let us know in the comments below. With one of these 8 picks, the Cowboys gonna take a running back. I don't think we do. I'm going to submit my position predictions with 0 running backs, and that's with the ability of maybe looking at Jeremiah Love fall. But I mean, is there anything else left on our guy?
Blue was round 5.
Yeah.
Last year.
Okay. Is there anything left on our guy?
No.
Jadarian Price. Bob, how are you feeling? I didn't mean to do that.
His comparison has now moved to Javonte Williams.
Oh, interesting. Bob, do you think we take a running back with any of these 8 picks? I mean, even if Love were to fall, just on your thoughts right quick.
I mean, if we take a running back, I don't see that happening before the 4th or 5th round. It's just it doesn't make sense to do that. And if that's if it happens at all, I do not see it happening. But if it does, realistically, it won't be with the 1st round and 3rd round picks.
What Sterling just said, as far as offense, when you look at offense, this is the reverse. Like last year, it was all offense. This year is all defense. It's still some offense sprinkle. Like I said, it's a reverse this year. But as far as the running back class, there's a lot of running backs. We're just going by the ones that the Cowboys are targeting.
Yeah, these are the types that are going to fit
draft board.
Yeah.
When I said the way that I BG, including Bob and I, tailored this show, we're not just picking off, players and their
players we like and shit,
Right. We're giving you the lowdown of what is on the Cowboys draft bar.
These are potentials.
Yep. And that's really all that matters. And that's all that matters.
And people need to understand that. Yeah, thank you very much. Because people need to understand that, Kelly. Like you talked about the 30 for 30 visits, right? Is it 30 for 30 or is it a 30-day visits? One of those two. Those are important.
And Emmitt Smith's son is on it too.
DJ, hell yeah.
To add on to what to Sterling's thing, there was a running back that the Cowboys definitely wanted, but he decided, which is fine. He decided that he was not going to do it.
Oh, well, who you got next up on your list? The Cowboys have
Mark Fletcher Jr.
Okay, I'm gonna pull his right quick.
No, you don't have to pull him up because he decided to return to Miami.
Oh, okay.
So he's going to come out in the 2027. Yeah, a lot of if you look at like when people like teams trading and everything, a lot of teams are trading for next year's draft because that's where everybody in their mama coming out.
Fletcher was a bad boy for UM last season, so
yeah,
it's actually no that if it was from UM, I might be all right with him taking him.
Right.
All right, everybody on Patreon, pay attention because I'm telling you, I'm not going to put any running backs on my precious 8 picks. I just think we need too many defensive players, even with BPA, and depending on how the draft unfolds. I don't know. But, KELZ, who you got next up on the list? in the DMs for us to talk about?
Okay. I want to talk about Mr. Nicholas Singleton. Hear me out, guys, okay? He did break his foot or something like that at the Senior Bowl. He had surgery on it. It's not going to take a lot of time off and everything. They actually did the surgery in Mobile, Alabama. So he'll be ready to go for like rookie mini camp, not rookie camp, the mandatory mini camp in June, as well as regular training camp for whatever team.
He sound like a project. He sound like a project.
He
anyway.
actually not. This is a big boy, and
he's big. He's freaking big.
Is he bigger than Phil Maffa? Because I mean, I know Phil Maffa's a little bowling ball.
They
now.
kind around the same. He's 219 pounds.
Okay.
I got him listed on ESPN as 6'2", 224, which is absolutely ridiculous. That's a big dude.
So, and that's the thing, because he dropped some weight. He dropped some weight at combine, because he normally measures between 224 to 230. That's normally his window, but he lost a little bit of weight. And I think that has something to do with the surgery and all that other stuff. So with this boy, I'll be okay with him getting him at round 4. He's definitely going to be like a good backup to like RB1. He scored number 1 at the combine, so he did participate in combine. He ranked number 1 in athleticism with a score of 98. As far as the production, he ranked 9th, which is like the yellow. So he was like average, which was fine. And he ranked 64. His total score, he ranked green. He was in the green light, and he ranked 2nd with a score of 78. And of course, he's from Penn State. His comparison is Isaac Guriendo, the running back.
Isaac Guriendo from the Niners.
San Fran, yeah. Yeah.
That guy runs tough.
Yeah, he is a bulldozer. He this is I like him. I love him. I want him. Get him, please. Get him.
Well, that means we got to get rid of Blue. So I mean, all the Blue fans that said he was the next man since Emmitt Smith are gonna be real mad if we cut him next season.
And Maffa was supposed to be this kind of guy too.
Well, Maffa was hurt though, and Maffa was on IR a bunch of last season as well.
Yeah.
So he's an explosive one cut and goal runner who excels in gap and power schemes. That's one good thing he's good at. He has blown off a couple of cornerbacks that try to run man on him, and he just bypassed them. And he's also good in zone. If Clayton and Connor Riley wants to run a zone offense, this will also be a good bestie to Rain Dakota Prescott. So he did suffer a broken 5th metastructural, whatever that is, in his right foot during the Senior Bowl practice. So he wasn't able to play at the game, but he was like one outside of Love and Jadarian Price. This was the next one that everybody was looking for to play for him playing at the Senior Bowl. He does have one of his weaknesses. He does have a little bit of inconsistent vision, but what will help is if they put that the visor on his helmet, and it's going to be medicated so he can see. So he is what is it that you can't see? Is it nearsighted? I'm nearsighted. So farsighted, whatever that one is. So that will be fixed with whatever the medicated visor to go over his helmet. Does that make sense what I'm saying?
Got you. I know Bob can relate too. The far side, got me running away. But put the visor on. But I don't know though, KELZ, and I don't know Bob, but I mean with the broke foot and everything, I get what you're saying, but I mean, are we really
But
going
he
to
did
waste
but
a
he
precious
did,
8 picks?
but the thing is, he did what he was supposed to do at combine, and
I get it.
And he did what he was supposed to do. He was running at pro days. He has excellent burst. I'm reading what's on his pro day card.
Yeah.
Excellent burst, strong physical runner. He did deadlift. Is that the deadlift or the squats? No, he squat.
Deadlift. Squat.
650 pounds.
Damn.
I mean, that's pretty
That's
strong.
some Saquon Barkley stuff right there.
But Bob, I mean, this is gonna be my thing though. The way I'm judging this draft is how we look defensively coming out of that, and then secondly, did we draft any projects? And I don't know about projects, and I'm not saying this guy's a project, but anybody with an injury coming in, not ready to lace up.
I want to say this one is a project because when he did all this weight lift, 650 plus pounds, squats and
he did that at the combine.
And all this other stuff, huh?
He did that at the combine.
Pro day.
That was just recently then. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So his foot, man, maybe that injury, he's back in good position and stuff.
Yeah, that's what I said. That it wasn't a bad injury. Yeah. So it was something that he could heal quickly from. But he did everything he was supposed to do. The only thing that he did not do at combine was like on field drills and stuff. But he basically did everything at his pro day. But when we talk about the weights he was lifting and all stuff, you want to know what happened next after that? The same thing that happened to your son, and the same thing that happened to Malik Davis the day after the Thanksgiving game. Drug test.
Yeah. I don't know though, Bob.
Quiz, yep.
I mean, what's your thoughts though? I still think we don't grab a running back, and I know you said that too as well. But I mean, it's gonna be crazy how you.
My thing is,
like I said, how we grade in the draft. Like it's gonna be defense for me first, and then I don't want no projects. We ain't got no 10, 11 picks.
But
my opinion is this: the Dallas Cowboys. Go ahead.
No, go ahead.
Go ahead. I was just saying Dallas seems to always. If we're gonna pick up a running back and add it to the already 5 that we've got right now, it's probably gonna happen post draft. It may be undrafted, or it may be around the first round of cuts that the NFL does right around that time. Whatever they got to do, all this movement that's going to happen, because after the draft, that's what goes on. After all this movement happens, that's really when Dallas seems to want to go up and start getting active. But that only means that we're going to be picking up people that are going to be cheap, that are probably at the end of their career, that maybe, maybe the last 2 years of their rookie contract or something like that, which is cool and everything. But the pieces that we've got right now, I think, is our core. There's nothing that's going to be added on the offense that's going to do anything to uptick, I think, this offense. It's going to be all defense that helps us this draft.
Right.
And any offense that moves is going to be that undrafted stuff.
So my thing is, it's not that, and I just want to put this out here. It's not that I'm opposed to drafting a running back. I just don't want to use those. Now, if you look at it, we have 3 top picks in the 100. I don't want to waste a draft pick on a position player that we don't need right now when we have
that part. That's what I'm saying.
Bigger fish to fry.
Like you said, BPN, best player needed.
Right. So let's say Nicholas Singleton. He with or without this injury, he is still a day 2, day 3 range prospect. So he could still go in round 2 through round 7. So, but they're not having him go as far as, they're not having him to go past 5. So he's definitely going to, and if he just so happened to go past 5 and he's still on the board, Cowboys, whoever, get him, because he is a steal. This is the steal, one of the steals of the draft. So he's on target of how he's supposed to be drafted. But like we said, when we kicked off this season, the 4th round is like the sweet spot of the draft, because that's where all of like the rough diamonds in your backyard is there, and it's just sitting. And if he's there at 4, if nobody did not get him in day 2, and if he's there at 4, and where we at 4, I'm not opposed of getting him. No, that's the
Pick
old one.
112.
That's the old one. I have to give y'all the new one.
Oh, we got an updated one.
We're at. I'm looking at the. Oh shoot! I didn't save it. Oh well. Oh, I did text you the draft point. In your DM.
Well, while you're looking that up,
so the Cowboys is 112.
Yeah, so we had it there. So round four, pick 112, right?
Yeah, we're at 112. So if he's there, I would not be opposed of getting Nicholas Singleton. So the new draft order for the Cowboys is, and then I'll redo it and I'll post it on.
Yeah, when did this update? Like what was the updates on that? Like what changed on that?
So everything is so we're pick 12, pick 20, pick 92, pick 112, pick 152, pick 177, pick 180, and pick 218.
Okay. I can delete that one then.
So 2 firsts, a third, a fourth, and 3 fifths, and then a 7.
Yeah.
So with that being said, I mean, who else is on that list that you got that you could cherry pick off there that the Cowboys are looking at that we can cover here last to wrap up? Because I know we got a little elongated on George and some other things like that. But who else you got on there that you really like, KELZ, that the Cowboys got the eye on to wrap this up?
I like Arkansas's Mike Washington Jr.
All right, let's pull up his.
And while you pulling that up, everyone just on your own time, look at Katron Allen from Penn State. That is Nicholas Singleton's running mate. Damon Claiborne from Wake Forest, Emmett Johnson from Nebraska, and Jaden Alt.
Well, Arkansas Oklahoma. And Jerry, his ties down there. I could see this happening. Tell what's going on with Mike Washington.
So, Mr. Mike Washington, this is another big boy. He is definitely going to be a starter. He is 223 pounds. His wingspan is 33 5/8. He comes in at 6'1". His hand size is 9 1/4. Let me pull up his
That 40 is ridiculous from someone that big.
Yeah, Seller says his stock is rising. Washington Jr.
Yeah, his stock is definitely rose.
He ran a 4.340.
Was that at Pro Day or was that at
Combine?
Okay.
Combine.
That's crazy.
Yeah, that's what you got to love about these Pro Days and the Combine, man. Your stock could shoot straight up.
At 6'1", 223, running a 4.340 is stupid.
Yeah, it's pretty fast.
Yeah, that's stupid.
So he so his athleticism score, he came in second with 95. He ran a 7. Oh, his total score is a 70, so he ranked in 8th. 40-yard dash, a 4.33. His 10-yard split 151, vertical jump 39 inches, and his broad jumps was one of the highest, 10 feet 8 inches. His NFL comparison, if you want to look to see how he runs, his playing style and all stuff, is Chris Carson. He blends imposing size with impressive straight line speed. He has agile feet, loose hips, allows for smooth change of direction, has bursts to keep the run wide and beat flowing pursuit to the corner. He reads blocks very well, moves fluidly through lane development inside. Size allows him to run through the cornerbacks nonstop in run support. He does play very well in zone and man coverage. Able to drive through tacklers and fall forward to additional yardage. He does this thing for the additional yardage. He does this thing called a nosedive where he
falls forward.
Yeah. can do damage with big plays on swing passes. He doesn't
4.3 speed for sure.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, when you
And
say
he's
Arkansas and the
more-
Joneses, that just makes sense. So I don't, yeah. But what's not going to make sense is Jeremiah Love falls to pick 12 and he passed up by the Cowboys. This is a real world mock draft. It could happen, but take a look at it. So with that being said, we did cover running backs. We know I'm saying we're not drafting a running back, but even though with Love is there at this particular, these are the defenders that are available. So I'll throw it to Bob first. Mansour Delane, Jamal McCoy, Dylan Thieneman, or any other defender you like. But Sonny Styles is gone.
Yeah, I mean that's who I'm hoping drops.
Ruben Bain is gone. Arvell Reese is gone. Sonny Styles is gone.
If that's the case, Mansour Delane's the money on that one. I mean, I don't know that. I don't know. Jermon McCoy is actually a good prospect too, so I'll be happy with any of those. Honestly, for me, 12 and 20 needs to be linebacker, cornerback.
Yeah.
I know that everyone wants an edge rusher. I don't know that Ruben Bain is going to be down there. I don't know that some of the good edge rushers are going to be there. I think honestly, Dallas has a plan with the guys that we've got right now. I really would be happy to see Jadeveon Clowney come back, but with the youth movement,
I think he did. Didn't he get re-signed for a year? I think
no, he hasn't been signed yet.
Okay.
But see, the thing is with Jadeveon, like he could be sitting on the couch for many months and anybody could call him because he's a plug and play.
Well, I'm pulling the trigger on Mansour.
He's like an anomaly.
I'm pulling the trigger on Mansour, KELZ. Who you got? Because I know
I would too.
So let's pull this draft.
I like that he's 6 foot and bigger. I'm tired of these 5'8", 5'9" cornerbacks that just constantly get jumped on. Look, anybody who's 5'8", 5'9", 5'10" up against George Pickens is out of luck. Period. End of story. You cannot high point the way he can high point.
Let's see. At BPA, it's going to try to. This is an automatic draft. This is not one that we're taking. So we're going to find out if the mock draft is going to take BPA or they're going to take a BPN for the Cowboys to see who they would come up. No, we're not taking no trades.
They're trying to trade us. What do we want to do? Let's talk about it first. Hold on.
I don't know. I guess we can't draft. Okay, so we can draft. All right, never mind. That was interesting to see how that may pan out. But yeah, I mean, it's a real world scenario, folks. I mean, a running back, especially when we needed one last year. We thought we needed one, and then they busted out Javonte Williams out of bubble wrap, and then he got us 1,000 yards. They re-signed him to a whole new deal. If Jeremiah Love falls to 12 at this particular draft, it's going to raise eyebrows, even though the Cowboys don't need him per se. But I'm still team defense, and I'm like, pass Jeremiah, bring on Mansour, bring on Caleb, bring on Dylan, bring on some secondary defense because we need to stop the run this year.
Yep.
Yeah. I have a question for y'all. Since Tennessee had their pro day and Jamar McCoy was out, do y'all feel comfortable with drafting him? I still need to see more than because he sat out like a whole entire year.
Yeah.
I need to see
no
more
projects.
I don't want to deal with the project.
If you ain't ready to lace them up now, like if we're dealing with something nagging, like I'm just like,
thank you.
And I mean, because we got to think the 12 and 20, they got to come in and play day one.
Exactly, because that's why I be telling some of these folks that the first round picks are automatic 53-man roster spots. So they have
they got to be able to make it in there at the very least compete.
If the season starts the next day after the draft, then guess what? You got to be suited and booted and ready to go.
Yeah.
Well, we got our next episode coming up. This has been running backs this week. Next week, we're going to be talking about, guess what? Wide receivers, because George Pickens has gotten offered a tag. Apparently, he hasn't signed a tag. The tag date is July 15th. And it's going to get interesting, Bob. And I'm going to throw that to you. What if the Cowboys go in the first couple 2-3 picks and draft the wide receiver at the draft, and we ain't even got GP on the tag yet?
Well, I think that if that move happens with 12 and 20, which would be absolutely insane again, then we know already that negotiations with GP probably aren't going very well or might go in a direction that we're not willing to go. So we could easily be using that as leverage against him or as a realization for the fans that GP might not be with his team moving forward. But again, the absolute only way we do that is if for some reason the players that we do not want on the defense that we want to draft are not available, and we just hit this panic button, which is not what our front office does. We draft pretty well, so I don't see a wide receiver happening. Although I would love some sort of superstar wide receiver at number 3 to have a sick WR3 better than Flournoy right now would be absolutely amazing.
Well, I mean, the Cowboys be showing their hand if they drafted a prominent wide receiver in this draft. Could that be an indication? KELZ, is that an indication that maybe prepare for the inevitable? No long-term deal. We're getting ready to. I mean, what is the window where we could potentially trade, George after the draft? Like, there's got to be a deadline or something in there somewhere, right? Where the Cowboys are either stuck or he's not going to hold out or what? Is there a deadline in there somewhere?
He could hold out as long as he wants to when it comes to training camp. So,
but if we don't get him a long-term deal by July 15th and he doesn't sign, or does he have to sign? How does that get to where if we're at July 15th and we're trying to figure out what's going to happen? If he doesn't sign, what happens? If he does sign, we know he plays. But if he doesn't and he holds out, it's just going to be a holdout this whole year? Is that how that works?
Yeah, anything happened. I mean, even if it wasn't a tag deadline, if it's just a contract negotiation period, if the money ain't looking right to him, then yeah, he could hold out. But the thing is, you're also losing money.
Because like you said, GP could tell Mulugeta, let me get it right, David Mulugeta, that, hey, this is good for me, but then Mulugeta could take it to Jerry and say, hey, GP said this ain't enough, big dog. We need some more money.
Right. As far as Sterling, are we looking at? Okay, so here's the thing. There was some changes now that the UFL and the XFL has merged. When the merge happened, the NFL entered a joint agreement with the CFL, which is the Canadian Football League, and the UFL, that the NFL can sign their players right after majority of the NFL season is over. Those signings happened in January, so the window has officially closed. But once the UFL season is over with, then they could sign walk-ons for like training camp purposes. I mean, it's still a possibility that they will sign, but the thing is, the UFL may want their player back depending on how good the season was. So that's where it's at with that.
Okay.
But if it's any other signings, it will be ready for the 2027 season.
Got you. Well, we appreciate everybody tuning in here, especially on an Easter Sunday. Hope everybody had a happy Easter Sunday out there and found all the eggs you was looking for, because the Cowboy got 8 eggs, and we got to find out. I don't think any of the running backs are going to pop out when we get those Easter eggs for the Cowboys this draft. But make sure and let us know in the comments below if you see this after the fact, either on YouTube, Facebook, or LinkedIn. Let us know. Do you see the Cowboys drafting a running back? I don't, but we wanted to cover them here this week, and next week we'll be covering wide receivers, and it's going to continue to get louder, y'all. If the Cowboys draft some kind of wide receiver talent with one of these 8 picks, the question is still going to remain, if George hasn't signed the tag, is he going to sign the tag, or are we going to trade him, or what? But y'all will have to tune in next week as we cover wide receivers. I'm BG. That's my girl KELZ with the intels over there in DC. Appreciate you always bringing all of the intels to the show, KELZ. Happy Easter to you and your family out there. And Bob, thank you for tapping in from Colorado as well. It's the big 3 tapping out on an Easter Sunday, man. We'll see y'all next week on episode 9, Wide Receivers. We out.
Peace.
Turn out the lights. The party's over. They say that all good things must end. Call it a night. The party's over. And tomorrow and next year starts the same old thing again.